Hello dear students. We have already done the first chapter of biotechnology where we studied the different principles and processes which are used in producing recombinant organism, that is transgenic organism. In today's lecture, we will deal with a new chapter on biotechnology, that is the application of biotechnology, that is biotechnology and its application. This biotechnology is actually a tool. It is used in various fields. You can see agriculture, then medicines, in chemical industry, food industry, environmental protection, power industry, and many more frontiers are still to be explored. So, we will be restricting to the application of biotechnology in agriculture in today's lecture. So let us see how this tool of biotechnology is so helpful in agriculture. So when you talk about agriculture, before coming to agriculture, let us see biotechnology deals with industrial scale production of biopharmaceuticals and biologicals using genetically modified microbes, fungi, plants and animals. So application of biotechnology includes generally all that flowchart can be grouped into therapeutics, where the medicines are produced, diagnostic tools like molecular diagnosis, genetically modified crop, which we will take up today, and processed food, bioremediation. Bioremediation means using biotechnology for removing pollution from the environment. Likewise, waste treatment and energy production. So these are the different sectors where biotechnology can be used. So, and when you talk about the research areas of biotechnology, the major research areas of biotechnology today are first to supply the best catalyst in the microbes. It should be in the pure form so that contamination is not there. So in the form of improved organism with better characteristics. So we have to identify the vehicles through which this process of biotechnology can be done more effectively. Second, to create the optimal conditions by genetic engineering for a catalyst to function so that the environments are contamination free and we get the better output. And last, the purification of proteins or whatever organic compound we are developing by downstream technologies so that they are of best quality. So these are the research areas in today's biotechnology. So as I told you in the beginning, we will be focusing mainly on agriculture in today's lecture. So let us see how this agriculture has been benefited by the introduction of biotechnology. Before understanding that, we must know that increase in food production is of utmost requirement with the increasing population. From time to time, various new strategies have been used in agriculture sector. If we see earlier, it was on agrochemical based agriculture, like in the Green Revolution, where best hybrid qualities were used, best fertilizers were used, and then many pesticides were introduced. As a result, the harm caused by pests and weeds was reduced. That was agrochemical based agriculture. But we know that it has not many disadvantages also. It is polluting the environment. It is reducing the soil quality. The next way is to go for organic culture. Organic culture deals with going for the traditional way of developing the crops. Though this methodology is very safe, but it requires a lot of understanding about the ecosystem because it is mainly dealing with predation and prey type of combinations. Okay, so this is very tiresome, very long process, and we cannot use any chemicals in this process. But the most developed way or the most interesting way of increasing the agriculture output is by using genetically engineered crop-based agriculture. That is the most in demand today. So we can say that green revolution, basically the crop production increased by using improved crop varieties, better crop management practices, use of agrochemicals like this. So food supply was tripled, but it was still not sufficient for overgrowing population. And also agrochemicals are very costly. All farmers cannot afford it. And increase in yield with existing varieties are not possible with the conventional breeding. So there are both, these first two techniques have got some limitations. So biotechnology is the most important way we can actually improve the production in agriculture. So how can we use this biotechnology or rDNA technology in agriculture? Let's find out. Introduction of genetically modified crop was an alternative to obtain maximum yield by understanding genetics of the crop. So we must know what all improvement can be done to improve the production. So some aspects of GM plants in agriculture is number one, by improving the nutritional quality of the food product. If we increase the amount of vitamin A or some other component in the food, that will really help. So the first way is to increase the nutritional quality. This concept we will also study in case of biofortification. In biofortification, we know that we are improving the quality of the crop. So that is the genes which are improving the particular product in the crop can be introduced. Second is by improving the nitrogen fixation ability of the plant. If the plant can fix on nitrogen on its own, just like leguminous plant do, dependence on chemical fertilizers can be reduced. So second point is by improving a better nitrogen fixation abilities in the plant. Then third, very important, tolerant to abiotic stress. Like with the fluctuation in the climatic conditions, many plants are not able to cope up those fluctuations. So we can develop such varieties which can cope up with the fluctuations in the climatic conditions. So we can develop the cold resistant, drought resistant, salt resistant or heat resistant varieties so that they can bear the loss due to fluctuation much better way. Next, reduction in the reliance on chemical pesticide. Can we develop such varieties which are originally resistant to the pest on their own? Can we introduce certain genes which will provide them resistance to these pests? So that is, we have to develop pest-resistant crops. Next is reduced post-harvest losses. So we can say the shelf life of the plant can be increased. It can be kept for a very long time, even without the kind of cold storage. So we can increase the post-harvest loss if we increase the shelf life of mainly the perishable crops. Also, increase efficiency of mineral usage by the plant or prevent the exhaustion of fertility of the soil. So we can develop such varieties which can have a better absorption of the nutrient from the soil. And we can develop the production of the disease-resistant crop. Not only pest-resistant, but also they must be resistant to specific diseases. And we can go for micro-propagation of biomass energy production. We can use these products for developing energy by using particular type of genetically engineered microbes. So these are the areas where this genetic engineering can be used in agriculture. These are few examples where it has been very commonly being used. So the first and the most important aspect of using biotechnology in agriculture is pest resistant plant, because we are using so many chemicals to kill these pests. So the first aspect is using different technologies so that we get pest resistant varieties. So in next lecture, we will be studying about developing the pest resistant varieties, like the varieties which are resistant to specific pathogen. We will be talking about the development of BT cotton, and also we'll be studying about a very novel technology where there is silencing of the particular gene. So that is mainly you introducing a double-stranded uh, RNA, that is called as RNA interference technology. Okay, so in next lecture we will be studying the details of the pest resistance in plant by studying the BT cotton variety, and we will study the technique of RNA interference. Okay, thank you.